This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to you all and welcome to this webinar on this Python. And here in this particular session, we are going to discuss a very important topic in Python, that is a database handling. So you might be having different kinds of databases and then how to interact, how to write the respective database interfacing from Python. So you might be facing some problems. And you know that for any kind of project, we require to access our data either from the data file, from the CSV files, from the Excel, from the big data, or say from the NoSQL or SQL databases. So that's why we cannot avoid the usage of our data accessing from the Python. So now today we're going to discuss that how to deal with the database. So I'll be going for a detailed discussion, and I hope that at the end of this session, at the end of this webinar, you will feel too much confident to deal with the database from the Python. Okay. And regarding insert, create table, create database, insertion, selection, updation, deletion, everything can be done. So let me write the respective code, and we shall go for cell wise. We'll be doing the respective operations, so you can feel that how this database handling can be done using Python. So I'm putting some comments here, so that if you require this file at the end of the webinar, also you can access, we can mail it to you. So dealing with the database. So we're going for this dealing with the database. So you see that whenever we're going for the dealing with the database, so we know that whenever we have a database can have multiple tables. So database is nothing but a logical collection of interrelated data on which you can execute certain program segments, also known as queries, for the effective and successful storing and retrieval of information. A database will be containing multiple different tables. So a database will contain multiple tables, and tables will have multiple columns and multiple rows as usual. So dealing with the database, and then at first we shall go for creation, say creation or creating a database and table. So there is a heading I'm giving. So in case of Oracle, you know that there is one inbuilt database is there, one inbuilt database, and that is known as SQLite. So this database is already existing in our Oracle, in our Python. So that's why I need not to bother to load any software. We can directly access this SQLite, and you can work on that. So SQLite is the lightweight version of MySQL. So SQLite is the lightweight version of MySQL, and in this SQLite, you know that we can store your data very safely and insert, delete, update, or whatever the SQL queries you can run on it. You know that in case of Android also, we can keep our data in our Android operating system. We know that we can keep our data also in the SQLite. So SQLite is nothing but lightweight version of your MySQL. So I'm going for this module import, that is our SQLite 3. So use the database if it pre-exists, or create a new one. Okay, so if it is if it is pre-existing, then we can use it, otherwise we can create it. So we're going for this connection. So SQLite.connect, say we're giving this name as employee db.db. So it is about common practice. It is about convention. I cannot tell you that it is mandatory, but it is about common convention that our database name should be having the extension .db. So employee underscore db.db. So this .db is actually indicating that it is a database file. So that will be created, and then if there is no exception has occurred, then we shall go for this print. So connected with the database, so that will get printed, and then we shall go for the create table later on. Now the thing is that, just see here there is no such database file is there. That is the employee underscore db.db. So that file is not present. But if I execute this code, the file will be created. The database will be created in this particular folder, in the home folder. The database will get created. So home folder means the folder in which we're having our IPYNB file. In the same folder, the database will be created. So see, at first there is no such file is present. So if I execute the same, you can find that there is one error has occurred. Okay, let me check it once. So SQLite. Let me go for SQLite 3. Let me execute the same. So see the connected with the database. So if you come down here, you can find that employee underscore db.db has got created, and it is a seconds ago. Now what we shall do, let me create a table under it. So here we'll be having say EMP ID, and then we'll be going for say EMP name, then say we'll be having say city, and say we'll be having say salary. So these are the fields we're having. So creating this, there is employee table. So it is a common practice to write long SQL queries divided into multiple separate lines. Why? Because a long SQL query is very much difficult to read and understand. So to increase the readability of the query, it is a common practice to write the query in multiple lines. You know that whenever you are having triple single quotes or triple double quotes in our respective Python, that means you are writing multi-line text. You are writing multi-line text. And also it is a common practice to write the keywords in SQL in capital letter. So that's why I'm writing this. It is a convention, you know. If you write this one in the lowercase letters also, it is case insensitive, it will work. So I'm just writing the query. So create table employee. So we require here EMP ID, integer, primary key. I think you are following that. Whenever we are writing some keyword, we are writing it in the capital letter because it is a convention. So see, in case of SQLite, in case of MySQL, we're having the data type called text. But if you write the same thing in our Oracle, we'll be replacing this text by varchar2. Otherwise, almost all queries will remain the same. So here, don't forget to give the semicolon, because this semicolon is not a part of Python. This semicolon is a part of your SQL. So whenever you will be writing any SQL query, please don't forget to give the semicolon at the end. So I've just written here create table employee, employee ID, integer, primary key, EMP name, that is a text, city is text, and then salary real. After real, don't give comma, close the bracket, and then give the respective semicolon. This semicolon is for the SQL. So go for this. So create the table if it does not exist. So under this try, we'll be going for connection. We'll be going for connection dot execute. So connection dot execute. Then we will be going for SQL str. So that is the connection dot str. So now we'll be going for print. Table has been created successfully. Table has been created successfully, and then it is okay for us. Now what we shall do, Otherwise you shall go for except, print table is pre-existing. Table is pre-existing. So you know that table has been created successfully, otherwise the table will be pre-existing. So that is the exception it will produce, because the same name table cannot be created for multiple times. So now let me execute and let me check that whether really the table is getting created or not. So I'm executing this one. So the table has been created successfully. So now the table has been created successfully. So under the database, the name of the database is employee underscore db.db. The table has been created. I think you are getting my point. So here you see this is the database file, and under that employee in database table has been created. Employee table has been created. Now here I'm having SQLite manager. You know, I've downloaded this SQLite manager. I downloaded this SQLite manager from the net. You can easily download it. Let me show you that. If you go for here and then go for SQLite manager, if you go for SQLite manager download, if you give this search string, then you can go to the first link. You can go for Softonic. You can go for the first link. So now from here you can download it. Okay, you can download this SQLite manager. So to save time, I already have downloaded and installed this SQLite manager. So there's a link. You are finding that from this link you can download. Now you might be asking me that we are doing the coding in Python. Then what is the use of this SQLite manager? The use of this SQLite manager is that, see what I'm doing is that I shall go for say open other. I want to show you that really I'm just going for this respective folder where I kept my files there. So webinar Python. So now here, this is my employee underscore db.db. You can see the file. I'm just opening it in SQLite manager. So the file has got opened. And from here, you are getting this idea that here under this particular database, employee underscore db.db, you can find that under that we're having this employee table. This table is now void right now at this moment. The table has got no content. But if you go for design, you can see that what are the attributes does it have. These attributes are there. So these are the attributes this employee table is having. And for the data part, you can see it is void. Why it is void? Because I didn't use any insert query till now. So it is ensured that under this employee underscore db.db database, the employee table has got created with this particular design. That is a description you can find, and then data is void here. So I'm just closing it. Later I shall again open. Let me go for some insertion of records. So I shall go for insertion of records. So I shall go for insertion of records onto the table. Insertion of records onto the table. So now here what we are doing that while inserting this record onto the table, so we are writing one SQL query, say SQL str. I'm writing this one as say insert into. So I shall go for say insert into. You know that I'm just writing all the SQL keywords in the capital letter. So that thing I'm maintaining values. So there is a values, and then I shall go for say here what I'm doing is that here I'm just making them there is a placeholder. I'm just making the placeholders here EMP. So I'm going for this say EMP ID. You can give any name here. It is not mandatory that this name must be same as that of the attribute name. Okay, so we are just making this one say EMP ID. I'm just making this one an EMP ID comma. Next one is the EMP name, making this one as EMP name. Okay, so that is also a placeholder. You can find that it is also a placeholder. So now we are going for the city. We're going for the city say. So it has been kept in a placeholder. So this particular string is incomplete actually. Here I'm just creating some placeholders, and then I'm just giving a label EMP ID, EMP name, they are only the labels. You know, you can put any text here. It is not having any correlation with the actual field name. So next one is the salary. So you see, this is my insert into employee values. These are the respective placeholders are there. So now these are the placeholders. So I shall be completing this one using dot format later on. I shall be completing this one with the dot format. So after completion of this insert query, don't miss that semicolon. Semicolon is for the SQL. So what we're doing here, see, I'm having a plan. Whatever I'm doing here is that I'm having one CSV file with me, emp_data.csv. So if I open this one, say open with say some CSV table or editor, you can find that it is mirror as CSV file. Just see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this way, you can find we're having 10 records are there, and we're having 10 employee IDs, and then we're having the 10 names, and then 10 cities, and then we're having the salaries. So this is the respective CSV file I'm having. So what I'm having a plan that I shall be populating my employee table, reading the CSV file content, not taking data from the keyboard. I shall be populating my records using this CSV file content. So how can I do that one? I'm just going to show that. So my SQL string has been prepared. So now we shall go for say import CSV. I'll be reading the CSV file, so I require this one. So read lines from CSV file and store them in the table and store them in the table. So I'm writing this one with open that is our emp_data.csv. So let me check it once. Let me check the file name once. So it is emp_data.csv. As this IPYNB file, my source file, and this CSV file are in the same folder, so I'm not giving any path. But if they're available in some different folders, so I'm supposed to give the path here, something like say d:// data file //2020. In this way, I shall have to give the respective path here, fully qualified path. But as the source program and the CSV file both are existing in the same folder, so I need not to give the respective path here. Do you know what is the meaning of this with? With means whenever you are opening a file using with block, then what will happen? The closing of the file will be done by the system automatically. So it will take the responsibility when the control will come out from the with block, then the closing of the data file will be done automatically. So that is a very very interesting thing here. So we'll be going for CSV reader is equal to CSV.reader. CSV.reader. So we shall go for this. Okay, now we shall go for the data file. So now we are going for this data file. So now the CSV reader has been read. So reader to read from data file, reader to read from the data file. Say with comma as delimiter. So with comma as delimiter. So in this way, you see, I'm just reading this one from the data file. So we're writing this one for row in CSV reader, for row in CSV reader. So writing the comment for you for the better understanding. Each row, so from each row, take data and insert into the table. Okay, so then I shall go for print row. I shall go for print row for my check that how the rows are getting printed. Now we shall go for connection. We shall go for connection dot execute. We're supposed to execute the respective query. Connection dot execute. We're having SQL str. SQL str is having some labeled placeholders. So they are to be now completed. So now go for this format. label placeholders are to be completed now. So the first one is the EMP ID. So that has to be filled up with say row 0. Whenever I shall print this row, you can find that this row is nothing but a list. So it is picking up one row at a time. It will be nothing but a list. And so the first list item will be having the 0 index, because you know that Python is a 0-based language. So that will be the row 0 will be the first index. So what is that? That is employee ID. So next we are having this one, say EMP name. So that will be nothing but row 1, and then we'll be having the city. So placeholders I'm now initializing. So we are going for this row 2. What is the last one? That is a salary. So there is a salary. And what is the salary in that case? We shall be going for row 3. So row 1, row 2, row 3, we're having this, and then 2 closing brackets are there. Okay, in this way I've just written this. So connection.execute. So SQL query will be executed, and then after coming out, I shall make connection.commit. So now I want to make the change permanent onto the database. Make the change permanent. So make the change permanent. And now we shall go for print. All data got inserted. Only for your better understanding, I'm writing all these printing statements and say respective comments and so on. Okay, so in this way you can find that my query will be executed. One thing I want to mention, whenever you are having some field which is of the type of text, try to get my point. Whenever you are having some field which is of the type of text, in that case the field name should be enclosed within single quotes, and that is mandatory. But whenever you are having some text which is numeric, then enclosing it within single quote is optional. You may or may not. So to be on the safe side, I feel that it is better to enclose all of them within single quotes, because that is allowed for both numeric and for non-numeric data. So that's why I've kept everything. But I know that employee ID and the salary, they are the numeric. So single quotes enclosing them is not mandatory. But for employee name and city, they are categorical. They are of the type of string. So there it is required. So now I think from the emp_data.csv file, the records will be read and that will be put onto this. So now let me execute the query, this section. One error is coming, IO error on close file. So it is coming in this particular line. Read lines from this, insert into employee values. I think it is okay for us. Okay, so now we are going for this with open emp underscore, let me check the file name, emp underscore data.csv. yes, emp underscore data.csv as data file. So csv at the data file, so csv data is equal to csv.reader data file. I think it is okay for us. So now for row in csv reader, so for row in csv reader, print row and the connection execute and this and that. Okay, so now it is okay. So what is the error? Error is coming that it is coming in this line. Okay, so one thing I can do, I can go for and just putting this one under this indentation. Okay, then let me go for this. So now see, whenever I'm printing this row, you can easily find that you're finding all these rows are nothing but, what are they? They're nothing but list. They're nothing but list. How many of them? 10. So 10 of them, they are nothing but list. So they are in this row, in the variable row. So how to get the first one? It will be row 0. So that has been assigned to the EMP ID, that is a respective placeholder label. So EMP ID is equal to row 0, row 1, row 2, and row 3. So they have got inserted. So now let me show you that really they have got inserted into the employee table. So now I'm opening my SQLite Manager once again. I'm opening my SQLite Manager once again. See, I'm going for this particular file. I'm just opening it. So I'm going for this employee. See, the file is filled up with my data. How many of them? 10. So 10 data have got inserted very successfully. So 10 data have got inserted in this particular. Yes. So this is a design for employee. It is having this respective design is there, and the data is this one. So you can feel that how we have inserted our data reading from the CSV file onto the SQLite table. Okay, done. So let me go for the next part. So now we shall go for the retrieving. So going for retrieving the records from the database table. Retrieving records from the database table. So going for SQL for fetching records from the table. Okay, so here we're writing this one SQL str. So same type of case. So here the query is select start from employee. Select start from employee. Don't forget to give this semicolon. And now we shall go for this execution connection dot execute. Okay, so we are going for SQL str. We are putting it into a variable set table, and now going for row in table. For row in table, we're supposed to print. We're having this one as emp id colon. So str. We are going for this say str. Also we can go for say row 0. We can go for row 0, and then emp name, say emp name is my row 1 comma. Okay, so I shall go for this city. So city is there. I'm not giving this comma, already the blank spaces are there, it will work. So you see I'm writing this city, so city colon, going for this row 2, and last one is the salary, row 3. So in this way it will pick up all the values retrieving from here. So if I go on executing, you can find that it is picking up all the data from the respective employee table in a very systematic way. All the 10 records with the employee ID, employee name, is the respective city, and the salary. So everything is getting printed accordingly. So that is a select query we have executed. So create query, insert query, select query, everything I'm just putting them in the separate cells so that later you can explore it, you can learn it better. Okay, now we are not retrieving all the attributes, not retrieving all the records. We are supposed to go for a certain searching. So now what we are going to do is that say select, say employee name, city and salary, where salary greater than say 30,000. So I'm just putting this constant, salary greater than 30,000. So now let me check how many records will be coming. So record number 1, 2, and then 3. Not, I didn't give the greater than equal to, so it will not come. So 3 and 4. So 4 records will be coming. So how to write the code? Let me check how to write the code. I'm just doing the copy paste here because it will be also a select query. So I shall go for the respective names. So here we are having say this is mine. Let me read my names there. So there is a emp underscore name, city and salary. Emp underscore name, city and salary. So we shall go for emp underscore name, then city, and then salary. Okay, from employee where salary greater than 30,000. So that is a query I've written. There is a query I've written. So now connection dot execute, the SQL str is supposed to get executed. So table is there, fetching this one. So employee ID is not present. I'm supposed to read only the employee name, So it is my row 0, that I have retrieved only the 3 attributes. So it will be at the attribute index number 0, it will be at the attribute index number 1 and index number 2. So making this one 0, city will be at index number 1 and salary will be at index number 2. So here you see, here we are going for the select query but with a where clause. So you are fetching only those 4 records where the salary values are greater than 30,000. I think you are getting me that how did I execute my code. So EMP name, city, and this. So here you see, if you have the concept of SQL query, how to write the SQL query, that is a big skill. That in your life 2 skills will be very much evaluated, will be very much required. The skill number 1 is the coding skill, and skill number 2, handling the database, writing the queries, handling the relational database or object oriented database, and also the NoSQL. You are supposed to have the confidence to work with MongoDB, say Cassandra, CouchDB. So you are supposed to handle them, and then you should have the capability, or say what should I say, potentiality to write the SQL queries. Okay, so now it is the jugglery of SQL query only. So in this way you can write anything in Python and you can work on that. So let me go for the another operation. So let me go for another operation. So let me go for say update. So performing the update operation on the table, on the database table. Okay, so I shall be writing this one. So update, what is a query? That is update salary to 30,000 for those employees where city is Chennai. So you want to update those employee salaries where city is equal to Chennai. So let me check that how many Chennai people are there. So Kolkata, Mumbai, this is a Chennai. Chennai is for Dinesh. So his salary was 28,000. So it will get updated to 30,000. Okay. Now another one is Chennai is Torun. His salary was 17,000 and his salary will get updated to 30,000. What an increment, what an increment. So this is a Torun salary, and this Dinesh, their salary will get updated to 30,000. Rest of them are not from Chennai. Chennai, you see the C is capital. So rest of the letters are in the lowercase. So now let me write the respective query. So how to write this? So go for SQL str. Okay, SQL str is equal to, write the query in this way. Say update employee set salary is equal to 30,000 where, so salary is at 30,000 where city is equal to Chennai. Where city is equal to Chennai. Don't forget to give the semicolon. It is for SQL, not for Python. Okay, so now same thing, table is equal to connection. Table is equal to connection dot execute. So table is equal to connection dot execute SQL str. So it will be executed. So table will get populated. Now go for connection dot commit to make the change permanent. Connection dot commit. So now what we are supposed to do, let us print all the records so that you can see that really the update has taken place. So I'm taking this one and doing it here, pasting it here in the same cell so that you can feel that updating and printing, updating and displaying. So let me check update employee set salary is equal to 30,000. Okay, 10 is missing there, 30,000 where city is equal to Chennai. So everything is okay. Table is equal to connection dot execute SQL str connection dot commit to make the change permanent, and rest part is similar, already tested. So now let me go for run. You can see that for Chennai, for Dinesh, you can find that for Dinesh Chennai the salary has become 30,000, and also for Torun Chennai the salary has become 30,000. So my update has occurred successfully and no other records have got affected or updated. So also the update query I have shown you how to do the update. from this Python. Okay, next one I want to show that deleting records. Okay, let me do it for deleting. So I shall go for hash deleting records from the database table. Deleting records from the database table. So what is the query? Delete those records from employee table where city is equal to Kolkata. So where city is equal to Kolkata. So let me check. So we are having two employees from the Kolkata, two employees. So Dhiman and Anupam. So they are from Kolkata only. So that's why rest of the records, how many records are rest? There is 8 records will remain unaffected. Only these 2 records will get deleted. Okay, see. So I shall be going for the delete. So we're supposed to write the delete query now. So delete, and there is a SQL str is equal to, we're going for say delete. So delete from, please see my style of writing. Always I write the SQL keywords in the capital letters, rest in the lowercase letters. I'm maintaining this one throughout my code. So this consistency is very much expected in your code also. So I'm going for this where city is equal to Kolkata. So don't forget this semicolon. And now we shall go for, so let me copy the same here. So table, this is a connection. So now I shall go for this. Okay, I shall go for this part and fetching the records. So you can find that table is equal to connection.execute SQL str and then connection.commit, and now fetching all the records from the database and printing them. So here I'm expecting that 8 records will be fetched and 8 records will be printed. Rest of the records, 2 records have got already deleted. So now let me execute the code. So see 8 records are coming. So 1001 and 1002, these 2 employee ID details along with the all other information have got deleted from the database, and now it is coming like this. So you can feel that any kind of query, whatever the query coming in mind, you can easily execute in our Python to have the interface with the respective database. One point I want to mention that in case of Oracle or for any other databases, only the code change will be done in 2 cases. One in the connection string, and another one is your, say here I've used the text as the data type for employee name, as a data type for city while creating the table. But in case of Oracle, it should be your varchar 2. In case of other databases, it might be the string. So that small changes might be there. That is a point number 1. And point number 2 is that in case of connection, the connection string has to be changed. You will be getting so many help and references on the net, and from there you will be doing the experiment. But one point I want to mention here, please listen. If you have 32-bit Oracle and if you have 64-bit Python, the connections cannot be established, and also vice versa. So both of them must be of 32-bit or both of them must be of 64 bits. Then only the connection will be established. Lots of sample codes are given on net for the connectivity. After doing this connection, after establishing the connection with the database, rest part of the code, I have done the job for you. So any kind of project you can carry out if you have this conception of this database. So now what I'm trying to do is that I shall read my data from my table, and then I shall display it onto a data frame. I think that would be a good one, because printing data in this form is not very much smart enough. It is not very much smart enough. So let me print it on my data frame. So how to print it on my data frame? So in that case, what should I do? I shall go for say fetching records, rather FETCH, fetching records from database table to data frame. Database table to data frame. How to do it? We shall go for import pandas as PD, then SQL str is equal to select start from employee. So semicolon must be given at the end. So that is a semicolon for the SQL query. And then you are going for table is equal to connection. Already I've done the connection, so each and every cell I need not to do it. Execute connection dot execute, and then it will be going for SQL str. So there is SQL string, and then you go for say record list. RECORD record list. Okay, so just making one empty list here. Just making one empty list. Just making one empty list. So for row in table, so I'll be fetching our date table. So record list dot append. You know that I've shown you this one. This row is nothing but a list. Let me go for the outputs here. You see, they are nothing but these rows are nothing but lists. They're the lists. So print row. They're printing only the lists are there. So what I'm doing is that I'm creating one list, and with that list I'm appending this lists. So what is going to happen? This record list is becoming a list of lists. So let me print it. I think that will clear your conception. So record list is a list, empty list. You are appending rows there. So what is going to happen? Just appending the rows, converting it to list. So now you're just appending it. So ultimately the record list will become list of lists. So let me print it at first. So print record list. If I go for execution, my system is busy somehow. Yes, now it is coming. So now see, this is a list. There is another list. You know that list will be enclosed within square brackets. So that's why these are the lists are there. All the lists are there. They are separated by commas. You can find that they are the lists separated by commas. And now this is the list of lists. So it is coming like this. So if you go for the length of, record list, if you go for the length of record list, so it will give you 8. Why it will give you 8? Because 2 records have got deleted. So it is giving you the length is 8. Why? Because 2 records have got deleted. What are they? There is a records for 2 Kolkata city related tuples. So now I'm just making this one under comment. I do not want to print it right now. Let me print it under the data frame. So we shall go for say records data frame is equal to PD. PD means Panda alias is a PD. So I'm just passing this data frames, and then I shall put this record list. So I shall put this record list. So I hope so. Now this this data frame is now going to get printed with 8 records. See, it is getting printed with the 8 records. You can find with 8 records the data set has got printed. I think you are getting my point. How did I do this? But here this column heads, I think I'm not liking this one. It is coming with 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is a by default it is coming. And here you see, whenever you are printing this one in the data frame, they're coming in the banded rows. Do you know what is the banded rows? The rows alternate are having some shading for the better alignment. You know, whenever you are reading your data, there is no chance of getting your eyes from one row to another row, struggling. So that is not there. So banded rows, it will be coming in the banded rows. And always we love to see our data in the tabular format, not in such empirical way. Always we try to see our data in some tabular format. But one point is there. Here this column heads are only 0, 1, 2, 3. So I want to get something good there. So in that case, what you can do, so I'm just making this one okay, I shall give some names there. So I shall go for say columns. So there is one argument is there, one parameter. So columns is equal to, so you are supposed to pass here columns. You can go for say list. We can also write it here. Say column column head. We can write this one as column head is equal to, there is my EMP ID, then EMP name, and then EMP city. Okay, and then EMP salary. So we are just writing this one, and then you are writing this column head. We're just putting this one as column head. Also, you can write this right hand side of this list here. You can directly write it here also. So that is not an issue. So if you go for execution, you can find that it is coming with EMP ID, EMP name, EMP city, and EMP salary. So now 0, 1, 2, 3, the default column name with the base 0, base 0. So that has been replaced with the valid column names are there. So in this particular program, see, I've completed my coding. So in this particular program, I've done so many things. So those who were facing problems working with the database from this Python, I think for them it is a very fruitful class. And for the rest of the students, I think you have learned a lot, that how to create a database, then how to create a table under that, and then how to insert data, not from taking data from the keyboard, but from the CSV file. So it was my CSV file. So this CSV file content has been put. This CSV file content has been put onto the database directly. So how to do it? So you are going for import CSV, because import CSV is having this reader. A reader knows that comma is the delimiter. So it is nothing but separator between two consecutive values. And then you are putting this one onto the SQL query using the insert query. Insert query already you have written with these placeholders labeled, passing parameters to those placeholders, and this way it is working. Now this is a complete display. Of the employee table. Here we are going for projection and selection. What is the projection? Not displaying all the attributes. What is the selection? Not displaying all the records. You are displaying only those records where salary greater than 30,000. So that is coming here. And then you are going for update. For Chennai employees, salary has got updated to 30,000 from its old initial value, and then printing it. Connection.commit means to make the change permanent. And then we are going for the delete operation and also displaying the content. And now we are just fetching our database content onto a data frame. So all the codes are with you. So it is a very small pilot project. So now you can use it and you can work on it, and you can use it in some bigger field also. So I hope the class is effective enough to clear your doubts on this database.